Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another casted game of Dawn of War. And we're back with the Unification mod. This time, we have got the Black Templar versus the World Eaters. So we're actually casting this game because of my brother. He said, can you find a good Black Templar game? Because he's a massive fan of the Black Templars. And, well, I couldn't find one, so I had to create one myself. So we've got me spawning in on the south side of the map here, playing as the Black Templar. We'll get into what these guys are all about in just a second, but let's introduce the player spawning in on the north side, playing as the World Eaters. It's going to be Ghosty. So the World Eaters are actually considered one of the best factions, if not the best faction, in the Unification mod. So for that reason, I believe Ghosty, this game, doesn't actually use some of its best features, which I believe are some of its spells. So, you know, Ghosty is also very new to this faction, so, you know, he's not showing this faction off to its best abilities, but still, it's a pretty awesome game, so hopefully you guys do enjoy this. Black Templars, on the other hand, they're a very good faction. They're very similar to the vanilla Space Marine faction, though. But there's a few differences, and that's the fact that they focus very heavily on the melee side of things. So we see here, we've got a Crusader squad, which is basically the like, scout unit, except it's not really a scout unit because it's got a ton of HP, and it's great in melee. So these are not like your normal scout units, but they're in the place of what a scout unit should be. Something else to keep an eye out for the Black Templar is early engagements in tier 1, because, well, if their morale gets too low, they basically lose control, or you lose control of them, so they will just keep fighting, and you won't be able to pull them back. When you get to tier 2, there's an upgrade in your armory, which can change that. But yeah, something you definitely need to keep an eye out for for when you're playing the Black Templars. But we see here, I'm going to be pushing back Ghosty a little bit. We see he's got a Space Marine squad out of his own. He's also got a commander out as well. So World Eaters are a very interesting faction, because when you upgrade listening posts, they don't actually give you more requisition. In terms of your economy, World Eaters aren't the best when it comes to the standard way of getting resources. The way they make most of their resources, or a lot of their resources, is actually through melee combat. So fighting in melee combat gives requisition, and fighting it with vehicles gives you power. So basically World Eaters want to do a lot of fighting, right? They can't sit back and just chill in their base. They have to always be out on the map. So Ghosty, I'm going to be, you know, saying he's going to be pushing quite a lot. But we see he's got a decent force out already, with some blood-packed troopers out here. Look at these guys. Looking very cool. So he's going to be looking to put some pressure on very, very quickly here. We see I'm over on the right-hand side of the map here, looking to just capture up that relic. We see we've got 2 Crusader squads out, and a... Crusader squad and a Crusader fire support squad. It's basically just like your normal Space Marines. But we see here, Ghosty going to be looking to try and take down my listening post. I do have an upgrade coming through for that, as I do see his damage, his building damage isn't the best at the moment. So we see I'm going to be moving in here, and this is what the Black Templar are really, really good at. Their infantry is just so damn good. So we see here I'm going to be engaging. And something else to keep an eye on here, you can also get these neophytes, which they're just like little dudes. They're not in the Space Marine suits, but they basically just reinforce your army. And then behind that, I'm going to be adding more of the squad members, and that upgrade comes through. But we can see here, I'm doing a huge amount of damage onto his army. But unfortunately for me, you can see the little purple around my army right there. It's basically them losing control. So at the moment, I'm trying to like right-click them back, being like, they're not running away. This is not a fight I really want to take. And we see I'm able to get one of them back, and I do send them back in, as I do realize, you know what, that fight actually wasn't terrible for me. As long as I keep all 3 squads alive, I'm pretty happy. But I do want to be fighting underneath this listening post. So at this point in time, I really do want to start to look towards tier 2. We have enough resources to do so. So going tier 2 now would be a great idea, grabbing that upgrade from the armory. But that was also, like, not a bad engagement for him either, because that's how he gets requisition. And we see back in the base here, he's got himself a relic. No one's got any critical locations yet, though. But plasma generators going to be generated here. Actually, he's building quite a lot of them. And these things, they do damage when they're destroyed. However, I think they might be a bit bugged at the moment, but yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. But we see here back in the base for me, I've reinforced all my army again. We've got some heavy bolters here as well, just for a little bit of extra damage onto his army, as he has only got infantry. So heavy bolters here going to be very nice. Behind this, we are going tier 2. So this is really what I need for that upgrade in the armory. And tier 2 as a whole will be really, really nice here. Because basically, the Black Templar really are a tier 2 faction. They've got some really strong units in the barracks, which we will get to later on. But we see here, Ghosty trying to attack my listening post, but just doesn't really do a lot of damage to it. Does not have a lot of building damage. And we see here plasma pistols are in for my 2 Crusader squads, which does extra damage against heavy infantry, which is basically all his Space Marines. Not his Blood Pack troopers, though. But still, they'll be able to do good damage there. We see I'm just going to be falling back for the time being. Don't want to over-engage because tier 1 or tier 2 has come through. Going to be grabbing that upgrade from the armory any second now. And also, we're getting that upgrade on the relic. So, no need to fight for the time being. I'm just waiting for that upgrade to come through on the armory. Where is it? I probably do leave this a little bit too long. Unless I've already grabbed it, but I don't think I've grabbed it at this point. Second plasma generator coming through. I think I'm waiting for the plasma, as I believe it's quite expensive. We'll see. There we go. Plasma. There it is. Yeah. So it's quite expensive. 100 power, 150 requisition. And this basically means my army won't lose control. So I can still retreat with them. And be, you know, not suiciding half my army. Because at the end of the day, you really don't want to lose the squad. But we can see at the moment, like, I don't have a single commander out in the field. Black Templar are very good at, you know, not needing a commander. They're very good when it comes to infantry. We see we've got these little dudes in there as well, just to reinforce that squad. We see I'm going to be moving forward here. Those heavy bolters going to be setting up, absolutely wiping out that squad. He does actually get away with 2 of them. It's still decent damage, and this is a fight I can definitely take here. We do have a little demons coming out. Look at this. Herald of the Corn. That is a commander unit as well, so he is tier 2. And we have a big engagement right now. And now this is quite good for him. We'll take a look at his POV, because look at the amount of requisition he gets from being in combat. However, I do think this is still a better fight for me. And with that upgrade coming through for me, I am able to just retreat back. So honestly, like, it's a good fight for me. However, he does get a lot of his requisition back from doing that, which is pretty wild. And we see, look at the power income for him at the moment as well. So many power generators. And look at this big ball right here. But honestly, good fight for me. I've got the Crusader squads. Very good melee attack. And behind this, I'm just reinforcing them up. Not sure what my dudes are just doing here standing. I think they were... they may have been stunned or something there. But we see, able to keep all 3 squads alive. And that demon, I really want to take down as well. There we go, I take it down. And look at that, I basically have all my infantry still alive, and I don't even have a commander in here, which I believe I have coming through now. Yeah, so we've got the chaplain coming through for us. We've got a lot of power stacking up at the time. So just going to be sitting back for the time being, looking to capture up this critical location. Now, the only problem with having very good, like, scout units is that I can't just cheaply make a squad to go capture, you know, this critical location, which is a bit of a shame because capturing up the critical locations right now would be pretty huge. But I still only got the 3 squads. But either way, we're going to be engaging once again, dealing a huge amount of damage. Oh, apologize for that. Dealing a huge amount of damage here. And we're still going to be reinforcing these guys up with these little dudes. However, we've got a bit of a surround coming in. We've got a dreadnought coming out for Ghosty. And this is where I'm realizing, ooh, okay, maybe that was a little bit of a mistake to engage right there. We're losing quite a lot of our... Well, we're taking a lot of damage. We're not losing many soldiers, but we're definitely taking a lot of damage. And there, the chaplain is coming in. We're just going to be retreating back, trying to get underneath this listening post. Trying to get away from his position. And look at this dreadnought. Look at the damage it does. So really not a great engagement in the end there for us. And Ghosty just going to be looking to push forward here, because remember, he gets so much requisition from melee combat. So we see he'll be getting power from the attack on the dreadnought. We've got some sort of spell coming through for him here as well. However, our army has a new unit, the Sword Brethren. And these guys are stupidly strong. Like, the melee attack, look at the melee attack and the health on these guys. They are absolutely insane. And because our infantry can replenish quite quickly, we're not actually losing many soldiers here. Like, of course, we're losing quite a lot of requisition, but our army still stays alive. And now those Sword Brethren come in. And we're just going to be getting into that melee combat with them. And we see Sentry Gun also going to be being built here on the back line. Just to help out a little bit, you know, why not? But though, to be honest, probably not the best idea considering how long requisition we are. Probably just keeping that requisition for reinforcements would have been the better idea, but is what it is. And we see our army is still looking very strong here. The Sword Brethren going to be getting into some melee attack here. So at this point in time, I do need a bit of anti-vehicle. Because we don't actually have any at the moment.
Whatever you need of us, squad, ready for battle.
But we can see there, look at our infantry. Still standing very strong right there. The chaplain, he's in there as well. I believe he's in there. Where is he? Is that him there? I think that is him. Yeah, that is him. And now we've got 2 of these transports coming through. And now, luckily for me, Ghosty does kind of just suicide these. Well, not really suicide, but we're able to get a lot of free damage onto those transports. And we see his army going to be moving in from the left-hand side here. However, it doesn't have too much. And we see there now, I've got the melter guns, which are very good against... they're decent against vehicles, very good against buildings as well. As I'm going to look to try and push towards his buildings. So we see we're focusing down that dreadnought. Our army is still standing as well. I just think the Black Templars infantry are just so good. Like, they just don't seem to die as a squad. Which is exactly what you want, really. That dreadnought goes down there. That transport going to get focused down now as well by the fire support squad. And now at this point in time, we take a look at the economy. It's 107 requisition versus the 112 requisition from me. And we've got another fire support squad coming through as well. So much power in the bank here for me, just sitting there. We've only got the 3 plasma... Oh, we do have 4 plasma generators. Probably went a little bit overkill there. But I think we're going to look to try and make use of it with some vehicles soon. Definitely could have come through a bit earlier, but now we see we're going to be moving up, trying to take out this this vehicle building. But some ability coming through from his listening post, which I think just deals a blanket damage across our army there, which is quite annoying. But Ghosty taking a fight here, he can't really afford. But it does get another Dreadnought out. 2 Dreadnoughts out at the minute, and now we've got that other fire support squad. We've got 3 melter guns on this. So now we're going to be able to start to do some serious damage. But we've got to be careful here. Can't really have these guys engaging onto the Dreadnoughts in melee. Just got to try and keep a distance. The Sword Brethren, however, they can definitely get up close. Look at the melee attack on that. I mean, yeah, probably still could have been a bit more careful with it. But at this point in time, I'm very happy keeping the pressure up. Try and take out these Dreadnoughts. And back in the base now. Finally, that machine cult is coming through. Going to be looking to get some vehicles out of our own. That Dreadnought, first one, goes down. And at this point, look at how big my army is. Those melter guns going to be focusing down that Dreadnought. And look how quick that goes down now. And now we've got a great gate coming through from Ghosty. So Ghosty is tier 3 now. And the Great Gate is where he can get some of his strongest units. So this is a little bit scary here. So that's why I try and focus down the builders for Ghosty. But that blanket ability comes out once again. Look at the damage on all of my units right here. So I'm a little bit worried at the moment. We see that Dreadnought still alive on such little HP. I need to try and focus that down. I think only the one heavy bolter is focusing on it. And you see that Great Gate is going to be getting up. That Dreadnought, 70 HP. And that blanket ability coming through once again. Look how much damage it does to my army. And that Dreadnought finally goes down. But the Great Gate is also up. But my army still stands. I just need to fall back for a little bit. Just because my army is quite low on HP. But at the same time, this Great Gate being up is very, very scary. However, we've got a Dreadnought coming out. A second Dreadnought of our own. The first one already out. Which I believe I grab the multi-melter. Yeah, the multi-melter. Very effective against vehicles and buildings. Because I'm like, okay, this great gate, it needs to go down. And it needs to go down now. We'll see if he's got anything producing out of it. Yeah, there we go. A Demon Prince. 500 requisition, 500 power right there. That is very scary. But yeah, at least I realize, okay, this thing needs to go before he produces anything. And we see it does actually go down there. Doesn't actually do any damage to my units, luckily. At the time, I was like, oh no. I think I may have lost my whole army here, but luckily, no. And see, this is where I take out the plasma generators. And it says it will deal damage to anything nearby when they're destroyed. But I didn't really encounter that. But we can see a lot of my units quite damaged right now. But I've taken out that Great Gate. These plasma generators going to be going down as well. And you can see they don't really do much damage. Unless maybe if you're standing on top of it here. Yeah, not entirely sure. But we see here my my Crusader fire support squad going to get taken out by these transports. But that's okay. I don't mind that too much. We're dealing so much damage to his economy right now. Look at his power. His power generation so low. His requisition really low as well. Just because he's not been in melee combat for a little while. Compared to us, we're up to 40 power, 112 requisition still. More units on the way. And our army is looking very, very strong here. These Sword Brethren, you can only make one of them at a time. But I think these guys are so damn strong. And we see now, it looks like Ghosty wants to do a little bit of a base trade. So at this point in time, I'm like, okay, he's got his whole army down to the south here. So we're just going to push into his base because I've got the bigger army. I can siege more and faster. So I'm okay with this base trade. And I'm not going to be able to get back in time because my army is relatively slow. And he's got the speed on these transports as well, so he's probably just going to be able to run back to his base even if I do come back. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, I'll commit. I've got a huge amount of anti-building here. Because these multi-melters on the dreadnoughts, on the fire support squads as well. So we see I'm just basically just right-clicking his base. He's got nothing in here that can really do that much damage to me. So we see he's taking out my my strategic points here, but I don't think it's going to be enough because, well, my army is just built for destroying a base. So, you know, he could try come back right now. But we see his HQ is going to be going down. So he's down to 41 requisition and 12 power. And that 12 power is about to get taken out as well. That plasma generator going to be going down. We see he's going to be moving into my base here. We see I do make a Crusader squad here to do a little bit of defending, though it doesn't really achieve too much. Now these squads here don't do too bad when it comes to building damage, but yeah, compared to me, it doesn't really compare. Especially as his base is pretty much gone. And once these last two buildings go down here, and we take out the builder here, that will be an annihilation victory for us. Let me see back in the base. My HQ is slowly going down. We're bringing that Crusader squad, which doesn't do much, but you know it'll buy a little bit of time. But we see his buildings go down. His builder gets taken out, and finally his barracks is going to be going down. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy this casted game, consider liking, subscribe. Also, check out the GoFundMe down below. We're looking to host a tournament soon. And if you're interested in supporting it, go check out the link. It'll explain what the tournament's all about and how you can donate if you wish to. But yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one.